Alright guys, welcome to All Things Football. New season's upon us. Prem's back just in a couple of hours. I'm recording this on a Wednesday, so football might have not started yet, but although I might publish this out on the Thursday or Friday, probably Friday evening I'll publish this out, so you might be watching this Saturday depending on when you're watching this. This is for the first game week football, which starts on the 10th of August. Looking forward to it. The transfer window shuts tomorrow, which is a Thursday. You know, it's the first, I don't know if it's the first time, but it's the first season that I know of that the window shuts early, so it's going to shut before the Premiership season actually starts. I think that's quite a good thing because there's not too much faffing around for your teams, especially when fantasy football is concerned. If a high profile transfer goes through, you know, while the season's already started, you're scrambling to try and, you know, that's if he performs, you're scrambling to try and make changes to try and fit that player in. But hopefully that won't be the case this season. I've tried this once before, you know, last year I tried to do a weekly fantasy football sort of team, you know, talk and stuff like that, but I couldn't quite keep up with it due to outside interference and obviously other stuff going on in my everyday life. But I think I found a way to get these videos out quicker, get them more precise on the point, just talk about my team and stuff like that. So hopefully I'll be able to keep this up this year. You know, second time I want to try this now. So but yeah, so in this video I'm just going to quickly talk through my first draft for the fantasy football season 2018-2019. I've made my selections already. I'm 90 to 95% sure this is going to be my final selection. I haven't actually selected my actual starting lineup yet, but hopefully I'll do that soon. I might, you know, but yeah, I'm just going to quickly go through my team, so stay tuned. That's going to roll on next. And welcome to Fantasy Football Weekly, all things football edition of Fantasy Football Weekly. Hope everyone had a good summer out there. Back to doing what I do a lot, or I love doing, which is play fantasy football. Over the summer was a great World Cup. You know, I feel like I haven't actually missed that much football. Probably about 2 or 3 weeks in between the World Cup and the Premiership starting and ending. Maybe about a month either side, roughly. But yeah, we are coming upon the first game week of the Premiership. It's been a busy summer, both in the World Cup, the transfer windows. There've been a lot of changes in teams and stuff like that. The transfer window shut early this year. I believe it shuts on the Thursday, the 9th of October, which at 5 o'clock. So a lot of teams don't have a lot of time to get their business done. Everyone's kind of panicking at the moment, trying to get last minute deals and stuff. But anyways, that's that. This show is all about fantasy football, so I'm going to talk about my weekly selections, the reason behind my weekly selections, and so on and so forth. Now, what you can see here is kind of my most complete draft today. I've done a number of different drafts leading up to this, but this is my most complete draft yet. As you can see, I've gone with Robertson at the back. I went with two solid sort of wingers with Robertson and Mendy, and I went with Cedric at Southampton. They have a pretty good fixture list, at least for the first 4 game weeks, I believe. I went with 2 other cheapos, Kelly and Malone. So that kind of balanced out in terms of my back line. I'll quickly show you my goalkeepers actually. So out in the back of my goalkeepers, I got Fabianski and Hart. Hart made I don't know if it was a loan move or a transfer recently to Burnley, and I know Pope's out for a little bit of a shoulder injury. Can't even get my words out. So Hart should hopefully nail that number 1 spot at Burnley. I am hoping so anyway. And I've got Fabianski as my second goalkeeper. So yeah, that's kind of my goalkeeping situation. So at the middle of the park, I went with Eriksen, Romeo, Bernardo Silva, Milivojevic, and Milivojevic. Yeah, that's how you say it. And Salah. So I mean, Salah speaks for itself. I mean, if you don't have Salah, then you know you're kind of gambling. It might be worth a gamble to not pick him, but also you could be kicking yourself if you don't, because I think they're at home on their first game to West Ham. I expect them to have goals in that game. I might get another Liverpool keeper in. I'm not sure. A Liverpool midfielder in. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see how that goes. Milivojevic, I had him in my team last season. He scored me quite a few points. I'm hoping he keeps in the same vein. I know he takes penalties, free kicks and stuff like that for Crystal Palace, so I'm sure he hopefully he can be as prolific as he was last season this season. Bernardo Silva is one that I've kind of kept an eye on throughout the summer, and he seems to be featuring a lot in Pep's plans early on, and I feel like he's going to have a big season going forward. The one thing about Man City is they have so many good midfielders. The rotation in the middle of the park is going to be crazy, so you can never tell with that one. Romeo was just, a budget buy for me, and not really there wasn't a lot of thought put into this one. This was kind of, I needed, someone for 4.5 million, and Romeo seems to be the best bet based on his sort of average. I can't remember how many points he scored last season, but he seemed like an okay gamble. And lastly, Eriksen. Eriksen always, between him and De Bruyne, you can't really go wrong when it comes to sort of staple midfielders. I think that's one. Those are De Bruyne and both Eriksen are two midfielders are definitely going to play. For Tottenham, Ali hasn't featured much in pre-season because he played a lot of games in the World Cup, so he probably won't be back till later. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But Eriksen for me, I went with Eriksen for knowing he'll get some game time in. And also that might allow me to switch out if I wanted to switch out for another midfielder, such as maybe a second Liverpool player in Mane or Shaqiri. So that would give me a chance to do that. So that's kind of like a placeholder at the moment for me. So up front, I've got Lacazette and Aguero and Shane Long. Lacazette had a pretty decent season last season. I think he scored 15 goals, if I'm not mistaken. I think he can do much better, so we'll see how he gets on this season. I think he seems to be forming quite a good partnership with Aubameyang, so that could be quite fruitful. And Aguero, what can I say? If you've played fantasy football for the last 2-3 seasons, you know how prolific he can be. So leaving him out is at a big cost, especially at the start of the season. He starts the season really well, he usually does. And plus, watching him against Chelsea in the Community Shield the other day, he did pretty well. And lastly, Shane Long. Again, this was a budget buy. I kind of went with a team that I seem to have a good fixture list. Southampton didn't look too good, last season, and I'm hoping this season they improve on last season. So yeah, that's my team for this game week 1. I'm not sure if this is my final draft here. You're probably watching this on a Friday. It might change before the deadline, but that's kind of where my head's at the moment. And if it does change, it won't change much from what you're seeing right now. But yeah, anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.